Hi, I'm Paul DeBartolomeo. Welcome to Fire Engineering's Training Minutes. In this segment, we're going to talk about some of the struggles we encounter in terms of certain building constructions we see in multiple dwellings. As you can see here, we have a dead-end hallway set up where we have an apartment door here kind of set in a little bit of an alcove. This is going to make conventional forcible entry, particularly setting the tools, very challenging for our entry firefighters. The guys are going to come up here and kind of demonstrate some of the issues that we're going to need to overcome in order to get the tools set on this door. So we have our irons and our can firefighters set up, getting ready to set their tool and force this door at the dead-end hallway. As we can see, there are obviously some issues. The back wall here is going to prevent any kind of backswing with the axe to strike the Halligan and set that tool. He's not going to be able to generate any kind of backswing to generate any force to get that fork moving in between the door and the frame. So that's a clear issue. Another problem we have, we always teach to start out on the door, an inward opening door, with the bevel of the Halligan on the door. In order to set this tool, we've got to get the shaft of the Halligan 90 degrees to the door. With the side wall here, the adze is going to bottom out, preventing us from getting that tool straight, so we're not going to be able to get that tool to the set position. So in this particular configuration, we're going to suggest that you start bevel to the frame and work the tool in like that so we can get the tool out to 90 degrees. Now, we still have to come up with an alternate technique to drive those forks in between the door and the frame. So we're going to talk about a little modification that we've done to our Haligan, a secondary striking surface to facilitate us driving that tool into position so we can go ahead and force this door. All right, so to allow us to operate in these tight confines and get the tool set to force the door, we made a modification to our Haligan. If you look at the stock Pro Bar, the shoulders here are a little bit rounded. So if we try to slide the axe down the shaft with the rounded shoulder, it's probably going to glance off. We'll kind of demonstrate that right now. Right, we're really not going to get a solid hit. So what we do is we take our Haligan and we use a bandsaw or a file. We file that shoulder down to a 90-degree secondary striking surface. This is going to allow us to slide that axe down the shaft and really make solid contact right there at the fork, which is going to facilitate us setting this tool in these tight confines. The guys are now going to come in and they're going to demonstrate setting the Haligan in a dead-end hallway like this using this secondary striking surface. All right, so our guys are in position. They're going to go ahead and set their tool and get ready to force this door. As you can see, firefighter Rigged is down low. This is going to facilitate Captain Pap using that secondary striking surface. He's going to slide the axe down the shaft of the Haligan and catch that squared shoulder. Hit! 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 Drive! Stop! All right, so this represents one of the more challenging scenarios we face in multiple dwellings where we have this restricted access. All right, the guys used the modification to take advantage of that secondary striking surface. Just a couple of things to point out in closing. You see, when Tim was sliding the axe down the shaft of the Haligan to catch that squared shoulder, his left hand, he went palm down on the axe, right? Traditionally, we would be palm up swinging that axe, but here we're really trying to generate that force by sliding that axe head. So he chose to go palm down so we could really push that axe head into that squared shoulder, getting those forks moving behind the door. All right, so basic modification, a little bit of practice, we can learn to deal with something that's a more challenging entry problem. I'm Paul DeBartolomeo. Thank you for watching this segment of Training Minutes.